Welcome to Kickstarter Radio. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and today we're looking at Darkest Doom. Now, on the front it says it's competitive strategy RPG game. Is it? Scratching my head at this one. Anyway, dark fantasy setting inspired by 17th century Europe with anthropomorphic animals. Okay. Well, looking at the art, we can see here the 2D art of the animals here. I'm not a fan of. It's not like I'm not a fan of anthropomorphic things, you know. For example, look at the Worgen in World of Warcraft, you know. Put a picture up here of the leader of the Worgen here. Looks amazing. But when it's kind of reductive art, where you can't see much detail and it's flattened 2D, I need more to be impressed. Anyway, I mean, just severe lacking of detail is my kind of problem with the art. Now, I've been watching playthroughs of this and listening to final thoughts and things like that, but I can't seem to sway my opinion of it after watching playthroughs. So each player starts in the corner of the board and they are moving around. You have these quest cards. And are they really a quest? The thing here, if you look at the player boards, it's dual layered and it's got cubes for each of your stats and stuff. And to the left of it, you got a couple of items. It's definitely bland. Like, you're supposed to be on an adventure here. You're supposed to be role-playing a character, and doesn't feel like it. In fact, the quests are just a map of the world, and tell you to go to a place. It's like pick up and deliver, but you're not delivering anything. You're just going there. It's basically go to point A. All the quests are go to point A quests. They're just so boring. And everyone says, oh, this game's got great lore. But one of the most famous sayings about World of Warcraft is why you keep putting all the story in the books and not putting any of the story in the game. And here, where you could have quests that are all in the lore, why are the quests have no flavor text or lore in them is beyond me. It's like, what's going on? It'd be nice to say a quest saying, can you return this item to my friend that I saw there, or I have a friend that's injured, could you take them this first aid to here? And I know it's a little bit bland, but at least we get a little bit of actually doing a quest. It's better than having what we have now, which is just go to point A. Oh, you can make these quests public, so there's like a race to go to them. Boring! And everything I'm seeing you doing on this map is severely boring. You know, the lure is you're trying to stop this darkness from taking over, and the world has already failed. You've gone back in time to try and fix it. So the heroes before you failed, and this is the second chance. So why in the lore can you fight each other when you're trying to save the world is ridiculous. It's so weird. It's like contradictory, the lore. Because potentially fighting each other is why the team failed in the first place, and you've gone back to correct it. It is weird. I also find it weird that, you know, you've only got like 2 things you can pick up here, and lots of the cards you're getting are kind of get rid of these cards and pick up 2 more cards. Get rid of these cards, pick up 2 more cards. Get rid of this, pick up 2 more. It's all like just rotating around this card deck. And when you're going to these quest icons on the map, you're kind of doing a roll test, and whoopee-doo, what do you get? A cube on your player sheet moves up or down. I would much prefer if it was a quest to go to a location, have a fight with somebody, and then you collect something, and then you can put that item on your board because you are role-playing then. Where did you get that helmet from? Well, I went to that quest item and I defeated that person for that other guy, and he's given me this thing, and it's like, yeah, I'm role-playing. What are you role-playing here? I picked up a quest, I went to icon A over here, and something came and I just rolled and I got stronger. terrible. Terrible. Where's the role play? To call this a role play is disingenuous to how the bloody turns go. You know, the severe lack of items, the encounters that you could be doing here, all based in a lore, and the storytelling that you could have done here. Again, why is all your lore outside the game? Why is your lore in a comic book thing that you've got going on? It's like, I'm just not feeling it. All of the character boards look the same without the, you know, you got the art of your animal on it, but you know, there's no attempt to make the boards look differently. Why have they all got like a red quilled pen on each of them? You not change that? It's just little attention to details here that I'm seeing that's just a little bit bonkers. I like the fact that, you know, you've got this time pressure to do things because the world's ending, and you know, the boss is in the middle that you've got to try and take out. The boss is going to be very difficult late and easy game. You're trying to attack them somewhat mid to late game so they're not too difficult. Certainly at the beginning it's pretty impossible to take them out. But because in this, you know, you've got to defeat them in combat and also survive the combat to win, which is a bit weird. You know, if you throw the knife at them but they take you out, you still save the day, haven't you? Even if you die, you become a hero. Legend, as it were. If you're not doing stuff anyway towards trying to knock back this darkness, you will be, you know, the doom will start. The map will start getting these kind of tendrils coming up around temples and stuff like that. But it's basically a snore fest. The turns from each player seem to go on for too long, and I don't know. If you kind of watch the playthroughs, you'll kind of see how long the turns are. It just seems a little bit clunky, just too slow for the time it comes back round to you. And you'll notice people saying, how did that get there? What? How did you do that? And it's like, because you weren't watching, because the turn to order was so long that you just didn't see it. Like, you're not that engaged about what your other person is doing around the table, because it's like, oh, first thing I can do, I'm going to do this. Now, second thing I'm going to do this and that, and then that gets me here. I'm going to roll this, and everyone's like not looking because there's too much you're doing on your turn. I don't know. Because at least like in Talisman, like when you land on an encounter space, you know, someone around the table can read that to you. They're engaged what you're doing. You know, the enemies, people are rolling against you and stuff like this, and your character in Talisman is getting followers that they find in the world. You are potentially getting items and things like this, whereas here all the items are kind of, you know, one-time use, make you stronger in this attack and it goes away kind of thing, and it, yeah. You know, whereas the story here could have been interesting. You're coming in as an animal, you've got no armour, and you're going out there and you're finding bits of armour that you're putting on yourself, making yourself like a tin pot hero, but, you know, better than when you went in. And, you know, it's like you're gaining strength and the cube is going forward. Can I not get an item that makes me stronger? I want to feel the progression through loot, not through a cube movement. It's kind of abstract in an RPG for that to happen. Anyway, let's go down and have a look at this. But yeah, 150 hours. It's not quick. And if you're playing two-player, you can roll in an AI that comes in. There is that as well. It's interesting. So why are people getting into this? I don't know. Maybe they just can't say anything negative. And you know, when you get paid for a review, are you keeping positive because of it? The game offers something different and unique. Well, that could be negative. It has the story, not in the game, it doesn't. Super gorgeous artwork, subjective, and design. Okay. You know, this is what I mean. The art, I mean, look at this art. It just looks not mainstream. It's super niche. You know, if inspired by something, it doesn't matter what you're inspired by. If your artist can't nail something that looks beautiful, then, you know, forget about it. And you can do beautiful dark. Absolutely. Click here to read the backstory. Well, you're not going to tell the backstory to all your people around the table. I'm not interested. We've got this early bird. It looks like a box as well. 5th player expansion and a semi-co-op expansion. There's semi-co-op in the game anyway. And of course they've left the best hero for this expansion. Of course they have. And why would you want 5 players? Already slow. I guess the sweet spot's going to be 2 or 3, but 4 is long and 5. Oh my god. You get more endings and more quests, but the quests are just more go to this point. Hey, live, you got 20 more cards of them. I want to see lore coming out of these quest cards. It's ridiculous. How they haven't put in lore into it. It's just bananas. You know, it's classed as an open world game, but when you're landing on spots, the encounter stuff isn't within the lore. So I'm like scratching my head here. How's the design team come up with this game? Roleplay my arse. I'm just not seeing it anywhere. If there's a story to tell here, it should be within all the cards that you're pulling. 415 cards that aren't putting lore in your hands. You know, my favourite game, Fallen Land. Every type of terrain you land on, you get an encounter card, and every time you get an encounter card, it's got a lot of lower world building and an event that's happening. It's epic. And here you pick up a card and it's bland. So bland. There's no flavour. No interest. It's a type of game that you play it once and you don't go back because it's just uninspired. Nice winter mountain in the middle. Hold your cards in there. We'll hold sleeve cards as well. Yeah. High Priestess, the one you're trying to take out. Here are the characters. Again, these player boards are basically carbon copy of each other and just taking away the hero image and a little bit of fluff about their special ability. And again, like this track that's tracking your attributes is dull as dishwater. It's an abstraction from pieces of armor you could be putting on. Better boots, better protective trousers, you know, potentially some spalders, you know. But no, there's no attempt in this game to actually make you feel like you're role playing and you're collecting things, or even getting followers to help you, or anything like that. You know, you could have an encounter where they're not going to speak to you unless you're this wolf character. It's supposed to be cooperative. Hey, you should need to come over here. This person will only speak to you because you're a wolf. He doesn't trust anybody else because of the tower that he's in. A rat man. What's going on? You have a rat man. Really? I don't really like rodents and rodent anthropomorphic. What's going on here? Obviously, peeps, this game's not for me. Now, this lake ghost, the reason they have these big cavernous things here is that you can go inside them. There is like a condition where you could potentially join the darkness, or you can resurrect one of these that's supposed to be protecting the realm, but needs saving or rescuing to take down the darkness. But yeah, we've got enemies that can come around and stuff, and the temples and equipment cards, kind of one use. Traps that you put down, not very exciting. Spells, you know, it's like encounters. Just look at them. These encounter cards. You've only got 40 of them. Just very basic. The quests. Look, map. Go to this part of the map. Bots that can be used. That's a good thing. Game rules on a sheet. Player 8. Good. It's just a role-playing game. They're not going to give you any of the lore within the game. It's highly abstracted. You're going to be doing boring objectives. And I'm just not going with the flow here, peeps. I don't see where an interesting round comes in. And, you know, people will start the game and will just head out in a random direction, which, you know, potentially that's what it is in a open world game. Map, you can see here, map looks interestingly colourful around in that, but again, there's no denizens of people walking around that you can talk to, that you can get stuff from. Not even a shop. You know, you got money. What are you doing with your money in the game? So there's like I think it needs a rethink. Keeping the lore outside of the game. Stupid. Stupid. Look, graphic novel, lore's in here, peeps. Metal coins, where's the merchant in the shop? Where can you buy items for your character? You can't. Miniature pack here to replace tokens you're putting out. Whoopee-doo. Game mat. Are you bigger than the board game? You're not telling me here. Could be the same size. Useless. They're going to be doing dailies. I can tell you now, I will come and look at these to see if it's adding anything, but I doubt I'm going to do a final thoughts on this, because these dailies need to be, frankly, miraculous to change this base game out, because it's just looking dull as dishwater. I mean, you know, these are the game highlights. Forest. Entrance costs an action point. Activation with 2 mana petals. Move to a zone occupied by a player or a creature within 2 zones of your location. It's all like rule book stuff. There's no lore on any of these highlights. It's just ridiculous. I go to the forest. There's no story in the forest other than the commands from a rule book. Look, you've gone to the temple. There's an encounter. What's the encounter? Draw 3 cards from the deck. Like, seriously, can't be our storytelling in this game. You know, Fallen Land, take away all of the, you know, encounters, all the lore from that game. The game's not going to be worth it. It's the lore on the encounters that make the game special. Tell the story of when you're playing that game. Where's your special story coming from? What's your character done in the game? Well, I went to part A. I rolled a dice. I got stronger. Nothing happened. Just go to this point. Roll a dice. Got stronger. Okay, increase your guardian statistics by completing quests, adjusting your strategy and attitude towards the game based on your stats, and you choose to upgrade. Just not seeing it, peeps. Just not seeing it. It just says like equipment and I don't know. I'd rather see these actual be like. It just saddens me that it's just lacking of anything role-playing. That's what I'm seeing here. Coins, what are they used for? Re-rolling your dice. Oh. Again, no effort for a shop or anything like that. The darkness, yeah, there's timers going on and things change and stuff. You've got to get going. It's a long enough game as it is. Look at these amazing cards. What's the power it's giving you? You can discard this card. And if you do, you can draw another card. Woohoo! Such excitement with these cards. Oh my god. Oh. It's like everything's a rule. Bot Guardians, yep. You've got people missing in your game, put a bot in. This is a good trend that's going on. Conditions then, so the new High Priest. Free the mosh. Defeat, it's called Purify. Defeat the the priestess. Actually become part of the darkness. There's a dark path. That's what the temples are all getting taken over by. I like how this is changing on the map and stuff like that, but yeah. So, yeah, you know, you've got these videos to check out. I would seriously look at the entertainment value of the people around the table watching this, and how they talk about the journey, how they talk about the lore. It's the whole missing peeps, it's missing, and the excitement's just... They're talking about the excitements in the lore. Oh, this game's got so much lore. Not in the game, it's not. And again, this art's not for me. I think the art on these is... I don't know. It just looks daft. I'm not with the art. We're down to shipping then, and Guardian Pledge. I didn't really talk about this, but the coins are really expensive. It's like, is it 30 euros for a bag of coins? And all they're doing is for rerolls. They might as well just be a token. They're not even a coin, really, in its sense, are they? You're getting the play map. We don't know if the play map's bigger. And you're getting more... yeah. I'm lost at sea with this game, peeps. I'm lost at sea. I'm not seeing any kind of buzz about it. And the Encyclopedia, amazing game on Kickstarter. Oko Chronicles, like other Kickstarters, won't be covering it, didn't get the requested votes. Solar 175, that's going to finish very soon. Dead by Daylight, that'll be our video tomorrow. Based, it says, on a popular video game. It's not popular at all. I'll explain that in the video. Another video game IP. Let's check the FAQ out while we're here. What is the managing pledge phase? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I mean the pledge manager. Not much happening. Update there is just to say we're thankful, and let's take a closer look at the expansion, which is, you know, what you've unlocked because you backed it early. Semi-co-op mode. It's already semi-co-op. You can attack each other for whatever reason, and daily unlocks are coming. But for me, it's got bigger problems ahead of itself. The biggest one is the encounter cards could be full of lower personality. You could be getting amazing artifacts. You know, there's no loot per se. You know, you could be getting... I don't know. Oh... Just to summarise what I've said is difficult, because I'm just... Everything about this game is just draining from my brain, because it doesn't seem to be an important game whatsoever for me on Kickstarter, even though it's getting rave reviews out there, and it's blowing up on this first day, blowing up-ish on this first day. I just think if you want an adventure board game out there, there's plenty out there, and I just think one, you know, is there a market for an adventure board game with zero lore? Very clinical, rules aplenty. Well, if there is, I'm not in the market for that. And even if you had this at your house, I'd be like, is it that game on Kickstarter that doesn't have any lore in it? You've got these very bland encounter cards and quests just to move to point A. Forget it, I don't want to play it. I can't recommend it. And for all that it's doing, it just looks terrible. You know, you've got these anthropomorphic animals, yet there's no reason for them to be anthropomorphic, is there? I mean, there's no stuff happening in the game that actually makes that important. Dark fantasy setting of the, darkness taking over. Who cares? And to call it an RPG is absurd. It's not role playing at all. There's no interesting journey that you're going on other than going around a flavourless map and highly forgettable. So there we are, Darkest Doom. I'm sorry, peeps. I'm mega negative because it could have been so much more, and potentially got a lot lower, but keeping it from you, keeping it in its books. So, peeps, here we are. Darkest Doom looks like a ninja 2-week project. I'll look at the daily goals and see how it's doing, but I doubt I'm going to come back unless there's a miracle here, peeps. Let me know what you think of this game. Am I completely wrong? I don't know, peeps. All I can say is I'm just not happy about it. But leave a message down in the comments to people why you like it. Maybe that'll help people that want to hear a positive side to this game from my subscribers. Put it down in the comments so that they can go down and see where the hype still is, I guess. Because if I've not dampened your expectations for this game already, then if you've still got hope after this video, please put it in the comments below. I'm sure that'll be good help for anyone who finds my video negative or whatever. But I've got to cover it because it's as one of the biggest Kickstarters of the week. And I just needed to put my reaction out there because it's opposite to what everyone's saying, and I think it's important for balance. You can't just have everybody saying it's good, and there needs to be someone coming out there with a ring of truth. And I just think it could have gone a different direction, and it didn't. And it could have been an RPG adventure game, and it's just becoming a competitive strategy game with no RPG really there. Is there? So, yeah. Darkest Doom, do we recommend it? No, if it's not obvious already, we don't recommend it, wouldn't even play it. So, keep it away from me, peeps. Well, there we go, peeps. I think I'll leave it on that bombshell. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye from me.